Reminds me of Ni no Kuni art-ish.
Ooh, that's not terrible to be compared to.
Or I might just be bad at comparing.
Well, there's also that too. But I'm gonna believe in that.
Okay.
Your assessment, Frank. I'm gonna believe, and then later on when I YouTube it, I'll tell you you're a fool, Frank. Until then, I believe you,
You're
Frank.
full of shit. How can you even compare these two?
Ni no Kuni, how dare you? Miyazaki's on his way over here to talk to you, Frank.
We have angry letters for you.
How dare you? He just won an Academy Award, Frank. How dare you? What's up, people? Welcome once again to Taco Otaku Podcast, where we serve the hottest takes in anime and video games. My name is Ray, and I'll be your host for this podcast episode. So in this episode of Taco Otaku, we have our Spring 2024 preview session this episode. So we're going to talk about 9 different animes this episode, and out of those 9 anime, 3 will be chosen for full review. So you have to stick around to see what shows will make it to the end. So check your timestamps down below and make sure you don't miss a single beat. We're probably going to cover one of that show that you're currently watching and enjoying. Let's see if it'll make it to the final 3, so stay tuned. But of course, it's not just the Ray podcast. It is the usual anime 4-man group. And let's start with Miles. Hello, Miles, my brother. How are you doing? Are you you got your anime? Well, you were off this season, Miles. So you actually...
Well, I would argue technically...
You had a little buffet sampling, perhaps?
I did look around this time, so there actually is something. We might cover that bonus.
There you go.
Bonus series, maybe.
Miles bonus round this episode?
Yeah, because, I always put 110%
there
to this
you go.
podcast.
You're dedicated to the podcast.
Every single episode, just to let you know, right? I put 110%.
Well, thank you for that, Miles. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. And then joining also with us is Ivan. Ivan, how are you doing, sir?
Very good. How's it going?
How's it going? I am doing well, sir. Did you do your homework? You covered your 3 shows for the season?
Unfortunately.
Sounds like we have slight regrets at the moment, but I guess you'll have to stick tuned to the end to see which is the biggest regret, perhaps. And of course, our last but not forget, our most important, Goldie Roger of the podcast. We have
What?
Frank.
What? No, don't overhype me.
You are the
No,
king of
no.
the pirates.
Well,
Frank.
he's not... Well, I figure, you are tall, so I guess it makes sense.
It could be you. You're the tallest. Oda would prove of you. You're the tallest one here.
It'll get to my head. Don't
Big head. What matches your stature? Big head. Then you could be one of the giants, Frank.
You know what I was thinking? Like, if we were tacos, like,
Okay.
I would want to be the sauce.
You would want to be the
Or
sauce.
lettuce, because I like Taco Bell tacos.
Wow, all right. You're a brave soul on the podcast telling that to the rest of the internet, Frank. Well, good luck on that island. I hope you good luck with that.
And everybody...
Maybe don't find the One Piece there. I'll never find out because I don't want to be part of that island.
Yeah, where's the Mary? Check, please. Let me go right now.
Get me off this island, Luffy. Get me out of here. All right. Well, gentlemen, we're gonna put the main course for once. First thing on the menu of today's agenda, we're gonna tackle our animes for the season.
All right. Excuse me, I'll walk out. Thank you.
And Miles, that's your tune to get the hell out of here because you don't belong here this season. You're not real. You're just a mirage.
I feel like I'm also always not here. No.
He's the guy that likes that idol thing. He's always
I
out
did.
there. Cute girls doing cute things.
Remember, I did one technically last time. Everyone remembered. Don't forget.
It's the funny part. The name of the show is It's 'Tis Time for Torture Princess. And yet, the rest of the time I was picking shows, it was also torture. So it makes sense. It makes sense.
Got it.
Was there an idol show this season?
I'm sure
Yeah,
there was.
Yes,
I'll put money on it.
Yes, there is.
And of course he knows. Of course he does.
I am not going to say anything else than that.
I'm sure it was the best show of the season. I'm sure.
Best one yet. Numbers go up.
I'm going to sing and dance this season.
I'm gonna stay over here. I'm out the season, so I'm just gonna move on to the next thing.
Alrighty then. So we'll move on here and we'll tackle our anime previews of spring 2024. It's a mouthful sometimes. And I will ask Ivan to go first. Ivan, try to like a band-aid, take it off and just get it over with. Ivan, what first anime choice, let's say, did you want to go with today?
So I'll start off with the first one that caught my attention. It's A Condition Called Love. I always choose those romance, slice of life. So the first episode, or like the synopsis.
A lot of S's.
Of the story is that, gosh, I don't even know how to start it. So basically, the main girl feels like broken, that she can't love, or she doesn't know what it is, something like that.
What is love?
And then she sees a breakup between this girl and this guy, and then she walks out. The guy, the main lead of the show, and he's outside, and it's snowing, I think, or raining. I don't remember which one it is. And she puts the umbrella over him, and he basically falls in love with her. So I know Ray always tells me that he likes it when stories, they get together quick or whatever. So he asks her out, and she wants to be his girlfriend.
That's promising the most anime.
But,
Oh no, there's a but.
But it starts, very, innocent, cute, and this guy. This is all the first episode. He asks her out, and she says, I can't do that because, I don't even know
what a boyfriend, girlfriend, romance is.
So he is like, I'm gonna win you over. So right away, he's like, well, what kind of guys do you like? And then I don't know how some way he has long hair, and then he finds out that she likes guys with shorter hair. He cuts his hair.
Oh, that's healthy.
She loses her earring. He's literally out in the snow, almost dying for her earring, all within the first episode.
It's only a little frostbite.
Yeah. And so this guy goes from like, oh, I want to win her heart to like almost dying in the first episode for her.
Now that's dedication.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's true romance right there.
When love hits, man, I guess I don't know.
That or also a psychopath, one or the other.
Well, that sounds also a little bit A, a little bit of B.
Love makes you do crazy things. Let's say
you're only a psychopath if she doesn't accept.
That's true. You're absolutely right. That's the difference.
Well, by the end of the episode, he's like, "I'll leave you alone," and it's like, "No, wait, let's kind of like try it out. Let's see if I can
see this toxic relationship.
See if I can but." Right away, the show felt a little odd, so I went to Reddit to see what people
Reddit.
Oh, that's mistake number one.
Oh, there we go. As a landmine.
But I like what someone said. If you describe the show, it feels like a plot to like a murder.
Sounds like a Netflix special.
Yeah, it's like true. So, but then the show also kind of is trying to play like cutesy music. So it's just like this weird in between of like, what you're doing is crazy, like the guy.
Please stop.
But the show is like almost trying to show that it's
okay.
It's fine.
It's fine. So I did read a comment, and people were saying, no, don't sleep on it. Almost like the danger's in my heart, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Don't like give up on it. But someone did say that it basically like it turns into like, at least from like the way they were describing it, turns into a show like, yes, like the guy is very crazy,
right?
Or he doesn't know how to
eccentric, probably the way to probably phrase it. Like he's very affectionate, I guess.
He has issues. Yeah, he has issues. So
tragic backstory.
So like, I guess it's gonna be more of like resolving the issues of like stuff. But it's a little too. The interpretation of like the actual show, like how they were portraying the music, the feeling, like it's almost like, oh, this is your typical slice of life, but if it's portraying it with like trying to be bubbly with like some things that shouldn't be bubbly,
right?
It just felt off. So.
No problems here.
Yeah. So that's that one.
A little weird, little bad aftertaste. It sounds like. Yeah. All right. Well, okay. We'll see how that goes. It doesn't sound too promising.
Well, I know I did preview that one a little bit because I was kind of curious too. I don't know. Me and Ivan sometimes we match tastes, I guess.
Once in a while, it can happen.
Did you get that vibe too?
Like right.
Well, because no, I guess I was because for one they had a bunch of dollar manga on Amazon.
Here comes the manga king.
So I did about the first volume, and off the bat, the anime does a terrible job adapting the first chapter because.
Okay, here we go. It's the manga versus anime conversation.
Well, no, because I'm saying but Ivan's not wrong because the problem is Kantanoi. He's almost toward the path of being like a psychopath, kind of in a way how he just displays his affection, I guess.
Too much from the get-go.
Especially even like you said, like the moment like she literally when Hataro was like this, it's kind of like saw him like in the snow, kind of with a little with she's covered in elbow, and apparently that's it. Dedicated number one. He has a shrine of her in his room.
Oh my god, that's a psychopath.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's a Netflix special for sure. That's like episode 3 of the Netflix series.
And it's like without the music, things like that, would you like say you read like the manga wise, you go like okay, but then
wasn't that an episode of Oshi no Ko?
Yeah. You know, and I said, but like the way how the anime portrays, like, you know, it does kind of sugarcoat a lot of the things.
It's fine.
And, you know,
Yikes.
if it wasn't for Hotaru kind of like this kind of like not being unsure, but still kind of going for like not like 100% like all
The girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if she was, because in the manga is better because she, most of it is in her perspective. So she's like, I'm not sure about it because I don't, I'm having my family, my friends, you know, I don't really get
She has no pursuit.
need for love per se. But because she, you know, I guess saved him with Snow, apparently, now he's all like, please marry me. If I'm not, I'm going to Paris, slit my wrist or something. Because like it's too, he's very hyper, like love. Boom,
It
like,
sounds
instant.
not healthy.
And, you know, if it wasn't for her reluctance and kind of like her like going, I'm not sure.
Maybe this is what love is. I don't know. And everyone's going, no, it's not.
You know,
screaming.
But you know, it's very hard for as a normal person in these like, you know, romantic stories. This kid, they're like, well, but it kind of sounds a little psychopathic the way how, especially how he displays her, like, and like, you know, it's like, well, I want her all to myself.
A shrine in episode 2/3.
You know,
I'm assuming.
Yeah, this is like the first 3 episodes.
Yikes.
And it's like, because I
maybe too fast.
And that's why I'm like, yeah, like I'd rather just stick to like the 40 episodes of the.
It'll take 20 episodes for them to finally say, I like you.
Yeah, I'm like.
I guess if I have to choose, I'd rather go slow than too fast, I suppose.
You know, I guess I like the manga a little bit more because at least, you know, you have her inner monologue kind of help you along, kind of like, she's like, I don't know if this works or not, but it's a lot to, for as a viewer going like, wow, this is kind of like red flags.
Mm-hmm.
But the show's like, it'll work out. Give it like 8 episodes, be fine.
There you go. We'll figure it out in the end.
Yeah, but you know, I see Ivan's point. I guess that's the best way to put it.
All right, well, that's, what was it again, Ivan?
A condition called love.
A condition called love. It's a condition, all right. I'm not sure if it's love, though.
Stay tuned if we'll make it to the final.
Full review.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, indeed.
And just a high this one, I gave it 60%.
There you go. Let's the track stats of the points down below. See if the percentage goes up or down as episode progresses.
Just like goofy, like when our Sunday night baseball. When
use the Taco Otaku app right now. Place your bets.
Yeah, place your bets now.
Remember, 30% goes to Apple, so bet a little higher for us.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Use keyword Frank to get
You get 20% off your first bet.
Yeah, $10 bonus bet.
Bonus bet, double down.
Yeah.
No matter which one, you'll always win the first bet. Thanks to Frank. Alrighty. Let's see here. I'm gonna steal the mic here and I guess talk about my first show that I covered for this season. And this will be Bartender Glass of God, which is kind of a remake retelling of the original Bartender that came out, I want to say in like 2005-ish, somewhere in the mid.
So it looks like the way you showed me about.
So yeah, for those who don't know Bartender, it really centers around this bartender, fitting enough, called Ryu Sawasaka or something, Sakura, something like that. Ryu something. He's a very generic looking man, but this generic looking man can make one hell of a cocktail. And he'll give Sanji a run for his money, perhaps.
He has that
bartending skills.
Asima from
Yakutaki, Japan.
Like kind of like that look, like
He's definitely an older brother, cousin, father, perhaps. They have the similar design look to them. So yes, he is a god when it comes to the bartending world and knows how to make every kind of cocktail you can imagine, from really very obscure, like your very traditional, like your old fashions, your gimlets and this and that. But it's like, oh, but you know, in this small region in France, they make it this way, and he knows every little detail. So he's quite the obsessed bartender and is trying his best to make his customers happy. And the real show, despite he's like the main focus of the show, the real protagonist is another lady who is in charge of a bar renovating a very popular hotel inside Ginza, which is a very high, touristy, very expensive area of Tokyo, for those that are not familiar. So they are looking for a very high class kind of clientele and a bartender to could meet the demands of such a high clientele in their very fancy hotel. And throughout the first 3 episodes, she is trying to get Mr. Ryu to join their very fancy hotel club, that their new lounge is opening up in the very fancy hotel. It's like a 5-star, this costs you like $1,000 nights kind of hotel situation. So yeah, she's trying to get him convinced. and little by little, slowly tearing down trying to get to convince him. He's like, no, I kind of like working at my little questionable bar also in Ginza. And meanwhile, people come to the bar. They have their little issues, and of course, he knows just how to make the right cocktail to help them figure out their problems.
Like JoJo Part 4, they drink a cocktail, and then they get weird, and then
chef
they fix themselves afterwards.
Maybe not as terrifying would be the word for that particular chapter or episode. But
you feel good afterwards; they'll be fine.
It's a great part of JoJo 4, but something like that, I guess, where people come in. And then, in Japan, we mentioned before in the podcast, drinking bars is a very everyday thing. This is what you do. You go to work for 12 hours, then you go get hammered at the bar, pass out, and then get up and do it all over again every day. Yeah, exactly. That's the way they cope with it. And so this is a very kind of, you gotta be a drinker to appreciate it, to like the stuff. As a borderline alcoholic would say, as myself. Let's just go all in here.
Wow. Welcome to the special episode of the Double A podcast.
There you go. Secrets all revealed here. I could appreciate what the show is going for and trying to do, and trying to the intricacies of making such fancy cocktails.
Was Ray's like, write it down. Got it.
There's a couple things I did take a note of while watching the show of how to make certain cocktails and this and that. But it is very mellow, slow drama, very low stakes, very calming. Also has no money for animation.
Oh, sweet.
So I hope you really like those cocktail recipes that you learn each every episode, because
that's what the money goes into.
Yeah, that's what it goes into, because it doesn't really go into people walking in and out of the bar, sitting down at the stool.
Here's the question, Ray. Do they actually have products, or we're like, oh no, we have the special wine from there?
Yes, no, it's not like Bud Oozer. No, they have the big names. They got your, I don't know, pick your favorite.
Starbucks.
Yeah, no Starbucks. It's the real McCoy. They got your Jack Daniels, your I don't know, everything you could think of, whiskeys and tequilas. They're all name brands. They're shown on the thing. So there's real money behind the show, I guess. Apparently, though they're too busy putting on the labels and not into the actual animation.
Costco's everything, right?
There you go, Costco. Stretch your dollar real far. Get the big bottle there. But yeah, it's what I remembered as a guy who dabbled in the original Bartender. It's very slow, slice of life. Like I said, learning one or two cool cocktail recipes along the way. But yeah, I kind of like it. I don't know if everyone else on the podcast would like it, so I'm still thinking about Bartender. But I guess it made my expectations of what I thought it would be in 2024, and I'm kind of glad that it's getting a second life, I guess, in 2024. So we'll see. I think actually popularity-wise is doing pretty well on Mao, so I'm not sure if the reviews are also high, but just the fact that anyone remembers Bartender to me is cool. So I appreciate it.
And that's all that matters around here.
I'll take it. I will take it as an old man. Anytime people recognize old anime, it's a good job for me. Good day in an anime's or Otaku's life. Let's say Otaku's life. Let's go with that. All right. So that is Bartender. And so now it is time for Frank. What is your first choice for this season, Frank? What do we got?
Okay. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Tonbo,
I think.
Yeah. So it's one I was very close to not choosing because I don't know what. Cause I think I saw it late in the list, and then I was like, no, I don't know about golf, and then something ended up happening, and I late dropout. Anyways, Tonbo is about this girl named Tonbo.
Oh, there you go.
Oh wow.
I think it means dragonfly.
Maybe.
Because the logo it's kind of cute. It has like two eyes on one of the letters, and it looks like a dragonfly. Anyways, so it's about this girl, and she lives like in this remote island in Japan. I forget the name. It's like nobody goes there. It's one of those very small towns, and like everybody knows each other. They kind of live there their whole life and stuff like that, unless you're studying. But so either you're a kid before high school, and then once you go to high school, you leave the island, and then you either decide to come back or you never come back.
That's it.
Oh, jeez.
That's
the feeling I get.
I can see it.
I don't know exactly if that's what it was. And I guess this what do you call the second main character?
Romantic interest?
No, it better not be.
Okay. I mean, it is anime. Everything's up for grabs in anime. Cousin, no problem. Brother, sister, no problem. Mother, father, it's all fair play, man.
the next most important character, I'll just call him that,
Okay.
is this older man who's probably around 40.
It still could happen.
Let's
see how the show goes.
I don't think it'll be that kind of show.
Oh.
He is from the big city, and he ends up going to that island he gets a job there.
Oh.
Doing what? I don't really know. Because he spends his whole time playing golf with this girl. So he's like, I think he used to be a professional golfer.
Yeah.
And something happened that he quit, and then he ends up going there.
Ooh.
So
he killed the man.
no, I don't know. And I don't know. So he ends up meeting the girl, and she's very friendly. She's like, hey, well, I'll show you around. And then she shows him the golf course, and he's like, whoa, like I can't believe there's like a really nice golf course here.
Middle of nowhere.
And they're like, yeah, everybody pitched in and made it. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I don't know why they would do golf, but cool.
I was gonna say it does seem a little odd, but tourism, I guess.
So he ends up playing golf with her every day, and he finds out that she's like a genius.
Uh-oh.
And I don't know too much about golf, but apparently you need like different golf clubs.
That's true to my understanding.
I don't know why. I never understood why. But
well, they need different weights.
Happy Gilmore didn't need just the one.
But she only uses one, and she basically like figures out how to play the game with just that one golf club, the 3-iron.
Oh.
And so decided to watch this. I'm like, oh, I want a sports anime. I want something like hopefully like Ippo, which I was not expecting it to be.
Right. I was gonna,
and it's not.
Was it Kickoff? What's it, Frank? Your favorite one? The soccer.
Ginga Ikika.
That's what it is.
That's kind of what I would see. Yeah, that might be it. Okay. So it's kind of cute. Like everybody always gets his name wrong. I think his name is Icaragua or something like that. But everybody always calls him Igaiga. And he's always trying to correct them, and he just gets interrupted. Kind of reminds me of Torture Princess Haro. It's the same joke, but they always like something happens like and then like at one point they're like, fine, call me Igaiga. It's like, oh cool, finally. And he's like, you knew? I'm like, he's just been messing with me this whole time. So that's pretty much how the story is. This guy goes, he's kind of like depressed about life. He's like, I'm gonna just go work here and forget about my old life. And yeah, that's how it starts. But once you get a little bit deeper into the thing, something happened with his son. I don't know if he died or just like they had like falling out. It's not very clear. He just remembers his son and is like, oh, like very sad about it. And I'm like, did he die or did he just like abandon you?
Right.
I don't know.
Bad fallout.
So that's his kind of like story. And her parents died. They left the island and they died.
Of course. That's why you don't leave the island.
That's right. And so she got shipped back to the island because none of her relatives wanted her out in the mainland.
Oof.
And her grandpa still lives in the island, and that's why she ends up living there. And basically, because of what happened to her, she's like, I'm never leaving the island. Even though she's like due next year to leave because she's gonna go to high school.
Right.
She plays golf because her parents were golfers, and they left her that one golf club. That's why she only uses the 3-iron. So that's her motivation to play golf. She doesn't want to leave the island. She's happy there. And she's like, I'm not going to high school. I don't care. Like, there's this, nurse, because there's no doctors apparently in there.
Oh.
They even say there's no doctor. She was just a nurse.
That seems unsafe.
She's like I have a feeling she might be the love interest for the guy, which.
The old man?
Yeah, because at first,
how old is the nurse?
Okay, so he doesn't look that old. But then when he said that his son is like,
I mean, that could be
18-ish. I figure he's around 40 or maybe 35.
Well, it could be like in his mid 30s.
Yeah, so she looks like she's maybe 20 something.
Okay, so all right. Not instantly throwing up in my mouth.
It's okay
for anime.
They're adults. That's fine.
He kind of looks like he's like 20s, maybe early 30s, but because for the longest time they don't mention he has a son, and then when he mentions it, and then you see how old he is, I'm like, oh well, maybe he is older than he looks. So I'm kind of confused. Like, is she gonna be the love interest, or is he too old for her, or are they not gonna care? I'm kind of worried.
That's me half the time watching anime.
What about the golf? Like, how's the golf portrayed?
How's the golf?
The golf is fine. I was hoping to start liking golf. I haven't yet.
Oh, that's the big thing when it comes to shows like that.
I don't know if it's because I don't like golf or I'm just very aware of this right now. With somebody mentioned it, and I can get it off my mind. Where they over-explain things. It's like, he hit, and I'm like, okay, it kind of makes sense for golf, and I'm like, that's the part I don't like. It doesn't bother me too much, but I would say that's the knock on it. It's very slow pace, and I'm kind of curious to see where it's going next, because it seems like the girl and the guy have inner problems. So he wants to get over whatever happened in the past with his son, and she wants to get over or she doesn't want to, but she probably needs to get over her parents' death, and she even refuses to use another golf club because of it. And he and I would have not done this, but he kind of not breaks it, but removes the guard and puts it on another golf club and replaces it. And at first she's happy because it's like, oh, cool, new. But then it's like, how dare you,
without even asking her?
I know. She literally says that.
Yeah, that's how long have they known each other?
Like 2 days.
Yeah, no, that's not okay.
So at first I thought it was gonna be about her trying to become the best golfer.
Right.
And, the typical
Right, this is how I became the slam dunker.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the best. And it might still do that. But now, after watching, I had to watch 4 episodes, so I wasn't sure which one.
Gotta double check.
Yeah, no, it's just like, because I was struggling between which ones to pick, and I still don't know right now.
Ooh.
I feel like it might be less about golf and more about them trying to solve their problems. Or at the very least, season 1 is gonna be like, let me get you out of this island,
right?
And then
gotta get off this island.
Yeah, like get out of this island and let's start golfing.
Right. To the Tokyo tournaments. Here we come.
Yeah, so I'm wondering. I just I don't read the manga, so maybe somebody knows. But
Miles will probably read. He's probably read all the mangas.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm wondering if it's gonna be like a tournament arc thingy.
All right.
Or if it's more of a, inner journey, like get over grief.
Right. Multitasking out here.
So I kind of want to watch it if it's kind of like getting over your pain. But I don't know where it's going. I have no idea.
I can see that.
I could see season 1 being like Tonbo gets over her past and decides to leave the island, and then season 2 we start
off to the tournament we go.
We start golfing. Or I could see that same thing happening, but now like I'm not really gonna golf. I'm just like, this was the goal. Get over the past and now live your life. It's not really like about golf. I don't know, but might be about golf. I don't know. It's too early to tell.
It's early.
So yeah, I think I talked too much.
No, it's fine. I'm curious. I was curious because this is like a very I remember on the Mal list, it's like definitely one of the least popular shows. So I'm glad someone's covering this.
It's kind of interesting because I'm okay if it does end up being about golf. I'm curious if she's gonna just play with the 3-iron or become like a traditional golfer. And which I don't know what the difference is, but yeah, it could be cool even if it does turn into like tournament arc, or maybe it does both. Maybe it's like golf and then like personal problems.
There you go.
Best of both worlds.
There you go. I agree. All right, I'm actually slightly more interested than I thought it would be in that little silly kids golf show. So
yeah, I think it's well made. The opening and ending are like it's just normal songs. Like I don't even remember anything about them.
Yeah, Bartender also wasn't very good in that regard either.
But I like the animation. I don't know what the budget is, but it looks nice. It looks calm. Reminds me of Ni no Kuni art-ish.
Ooh, that's not terrible to be compared to.
Or I might just be bad at comparing.
Well, there's also that too. But I'm gonna believe in that.
Okay.
Your assessment, Frank. I'm gonna believe, and then later on when I YouTube it, I'll tell you you're a fool, Frank. Until then, I believe you, Frank.
Full of shit. How can you even compare these two?
Ni no Kuni, how dare you? Miyazaki's on his way over here to talk to you, Frank.
We have angry letters for you.
He gave us one of his cherry cigarettes. He's not happy with you right now, Frank. How dare you? He just won an Academy Award, Frank. How dare you? Mr.
All right,
Miyazaki.
well, that's my first one.
Alrighty. That is, what's that one called, Frank?
It's called something weird in Japanese, but since on Amazon Prime, it says Tonbo. I'm just gonna call it Tonbo.
Tonbo, because I always want to think of the
It's like
PS1 game.
Oi something Tonbo in Japanese. That's why I couldn't find it because I kept typing it in Japanese and they wouldn't show up.
Yeah, it's weird. People get weird because you go by the English name or the Japanese name and blah 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 blah. So was that available on Amazon or?
It's on Amazon Prime.
That's interesting because it seemed to be a last minute pickup for licensing. So I'm glad it's easy to watch versus.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always the internet, but it's nice when you could just watch it on your big screen with just a couple clicks and bada bing bada boom. So that's good to hear. Alrighty, Ivan, we're back to you, sir. What is your second choice for spring 2024?
So my second choice is Oblivion Battery, Kyaku Battery, the Japanese title. Okay, so this show has Ray's most favorite theme of all, amnesia.
Wait, which one's that one?
All right, go ahead. Wait, hold it. Everyone, let's.
And also to go with that.
I'll get you for this. You won't escape my wrath.
I hate amnesia. Go on.
Wait. You said this,
The baseball one.
but what was you? It raised?
No, it has Ray's
Favorite. It has Ray's favorite.
It's
thing.
me. I hate amnesia.
Ray. No, Ray.
That's a me. It's a me.
It's
Alright.
a song or?
Amnesia? You don't know what amnesia is, Frank?
He got amnesia right now.
Oh, it's Kido. I just like, is this an anime? And then, I know what amnesia. is.
Okay. Okay. It has amnesia. I hate amnesia. Thus Ivan's joke.
Okay.
The circle is now complete.
All right.
Oh, sorry, I just didn't get that for first.
Back to Ivan.
So the story is that there's two players, the pitcher, and I don't remember their names. I have amnesia.
Pitcher,
too.
cat.
You caught it.
You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, Ivan. You can't. It spreads that way.
So they're going to high school and they're like, big prospects. The pitcher and the catcher of the battery, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then right away in the first episode, I think they just showed the introduction and then they said, but he was in an accident, so the catcher got amnesia.
Of course.
So the plot of the story is that the pitcher, it's his best friend's like, I'm gonna make you remember this,
Mm-hmm.
So that is the setup of the show. So
He forces him to play baseball.
yeah, so
Also seems healthy.
yeah, he transfers the catcher. He transfers to a non-school or a school without a baseball team because he doesn't remember. But the pitcher follows him, and basically, all these baseball players are going to a school that didn't want to play baseball. And then, but some of them were the competition that they were destroying. They're like, what are they doing here? So they basically started like kind of playing baseball, like messing around with it, because they're like, oh, you were really good at this. But let me back up a little bit. There's this like character that kind of narrates everything.
He's not the pitcher or the catcher?
No, it's like this other guy, and he's the one that narrates. Like, oh, like I know them. So he's kind of narrating the story, but he's not the
protagonist.
He's not the. Well, he's in the team too, but he's like the one that's kind of letting you know who's who. What do
Interesting.
they do?
Yeah. He's probably like the character like they use probably to describe all the other characters in the like kind of like the Great Gatsby, kind of like it's like here's Nick, and Nick here is
he just watches everything.
He watches everything, but Nick,
I hope he does more than fucking Nick does.
He does.
Thank you.
Oh, you're familiar with the show too? This one?
Yeah.
It's a baseball.
It's baseball, of course. It's baseball, of course. I'm in here.
Oh, okay.
But
It helps.
yeah, and Evan's not
Who's
wrong.
on first?
It is, based, the battery, pitcher catcher. They're the best, they pretty much destroyed every single like middle school baseball team, and everyone numbers them. Somehow the catcher gets to an accident and loses literally his baseball memory. His memory is fine.
Wait.
According to the story, he lost the way to play baseball,
But nothing else.
and because he lost the way to play baseball, he becomes a very goofy character. And the story shows that his friend wants him to come back because he's a very stoic kind of like, well, for better for like a lot of Japanese players are, and like a lot of them are like kind of like, I play baseball, I am baseball,
I am the baseball.
I need him to play so I could be the baseball. And that's all the man just like that's all he lives, breathes, works, and he's like, well, I pitch
They
well.
are committed.
I pitch with him. Without him, I need him to catch for me to be the best. So they ended up going to a public school because obviously their kid doesn't know, he just wants to live a normal life, whatever you want to call it, and wants to forget about baseball, but he wants to bring back the memories so that way they become the best. And it's a whole
thing.
So I will say this though, doing the podcast, I've come to like realize like what do I like, what I don't like, and so the catcher, he was very off-putting, like so I was like not digging it at all.
Right.
But I watched 4 episodes and I started liking the relationship between the 2 leads, which is a pitcher and the catcher, because it's true that he wants him to regain his memories and all that, but he genuinely cares for him as a friend. So like you start seeing some of like those, because in the last episode they were doing like a practice game with the baseball stuff, blah blah blah. But he's just like, he genuinely cares for the catcher, like as a person, so he doesn't just see him like as a tool. So I did started liking that. But you have like this like the other show I thought about was Slam Dunk, and the reason why I like Slam Dunk too much is because one of my, how you don't like Amnesia, I don't like learning.
This is a basketball. Yeah. You put it in the hoop.
Yeah. So
you don't like learning.
If I wanted to learn, I'd be in school, you nerds.
I can't be entertained.
That's why I started a video game anime podcast.
Yeah.
I don't like it when they start from like square one. So
right.
The reason why to me Slam Dunk was an exception was because even though he is starting from the very beginning, he had like this, he's a freak athlete, so it kind of like balanced the not knowing the sport, but so I don't even, I'm not even so much about like, oh, if it's realistic or not. It's just more like, do you have like something to kind of move it forward? So it just feels weird that like the way to show you the sport in this anime is like by like completely wiping out his memory, or like almost like they nerfed them, at the beginning of the show, so you, the audience,
you keep up.
You kind of start off with where he's at, and it's just like I still think the setup is a little odd, because it's like, what's the goal? Like, oh, you finally remember me at the very end? I don't know. It just feels a little. It just feels a little awkward.
Trying too hard, perhaps.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't really know what the goal is. I mean, I guess I can see it, but it just seems
to justify his godlike skills at baseball, I guess.
Well,
despite also learning baseball for the first time.
It's very weird because, like Ivan said, they use the crutch of this. No, the kid's starting from zero in baseball,
right? And
because zero baseball, he acts like he was when he was a kid, and we see he's pretty much like he's right now almost up to Zenitsu, like from Demon Slayer, kind of like this, the knowingness. He complains a lot. He doesn't want to work out.
Does he fall asleep when he goes to bat or pitch?
No, but he does. He does have moments like when he'll catch him for something. Like he'll have like a moment of like kind of slow remembering, but not remembering 100%. Like he has like muscle memory, I guess.
Does he have a ghost that shows up, teaches him how to play baseball?
No. That's
fucking Bill and Dandy.
I mean,
Yeah. So I mean, as I said, though, like the shows, like I ultimately, me as a viewer, I don't think too critically about a show, but it's like, do I care enough about the characters? That's kind of like my most important thing that I've come to realize. And I think that the setup is just all like, I wouldn't say all over the place, but it just seems silly,
It does seem, yeah.
Yeah, but the catcher, like, I really didn't like him, but the fact like that their friendship between the pitcher and the catcher, like how he cares about him, gave me enough to like probably finish the first season. Just the fact like it's kind of building that friendship between them two, and then like all the other players. So like in the 4th episode, they meet this other character, the one that's like hits the home runs. I don't remember his name, because it's other players that they beat that went to that school. So, and he's already had the rivalry with the pitcher, and so even their back and forth started getting kind of a little funny to me, because like, oh, my home run was longer than yours. No, mine was longer than yours. Like things like that. So if you can get past that amnesia thing,
Mm-hmm.
you probably will enjoy it. But you have to
Yeah.
just
You can't be me.
And then that's another thing that, it is because I know a lot about Japanese baseball. You kind of have to know the mindset because, there's a kind of different than it is over here, so like, the school they go to is a public school, Japan doesn't have like a baseball club, so they're kind of looked down upon,
Right.
per se. And like, and since they were supposed to be, they were like the top kids to get into middle school, they were the battery.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of and like you said in episode 4, when they go to an actual baseball school wants to see
A baseball school, let's say.
That's all they do. They live, breathe, and that's all baseball.
Right.
And it's a whole different thing.
It's like professional versus like hobbyist, I guess.
Yeah, but it is weird because it's very unique to see that. But no, they care a lot in in high school, like doing baseball. It's a very unique setting. It's like you said, the problem like is you have to kind of like maneuver through the catcher's annoyances to get to the good part of the story, because all the other characters, like the shortstop, the second baseman, they have unique stories themselves, because they're trying to come back from nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to deal with the catcher being a whiny bitch most of the time, for every every high moment he I get it, and then like he'll have a silly face and kind of, or just talks about farting. I don't know. It's
okay.
Yeah, he does a lot of like kind of dumb jokes, and it's off-putting. But
sounds like it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like in episode 4, he said a joke to they were competing. He said a joke, and then the other guy's like, "That's stupid." And then the pitcher got angry. He's like, the line was perfect, the delivery was perfect, and he's pissed. So he really cares about him.
Right.
So I think that's like. I once again that their dynamic is.
It's like the saving grace. It sounds like.
Yeah, I think I got an analogy for this now. It reminds me a lot like what's that one idle one? Is it Zombieland Saga?
Oh.
Which in which like there's a story going, and then there's this one annoying character.
Oh, the one guy,
the manager,
which sometimes you like and sometimes you hate.
Like one more, like it's like, oh god, every time he shows up, like, oh, here we go. You have to deal with him for like at least like 3 minutes and get back to the story.
Well, I guess we'll have to stay tuned to find out. And if you want to know about Zombieland Saga, I should just go on YouTube and look up Sourdough Shonen's review of Zombieland Saga. It's a great review.
One day I'll go back and try to watch that thing.
I still haven't seen season 2. I'll say that much.
God, no, and the more I think now, it's like remember that memory.
Sometimes he was funny. Sometimes I wanted to punch him in the face personally.
It's like just
let it go. Make your own YouTube video.
Rage. Sorry. Now I'm going to go Super Saiyan right now. Let's move on.
Apparently. All right, so now it's my turn. And for my next choice, I decided to do the easier to stream girls forming a rock band for the season show. This one is called Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. It is on High Dive. It's one of the few exclusive High Dive shows this season. It is done by Dogo Kubo.
Fan favorites.
Yeah, everyone's favorite anime studio, the same people behind Oshinoko, who also is returning next season, with season 2.
Happy.
Woo, the opening better be good. Or
They have Jesus Christ, I'm terrified to be who was the director of that opening, because man, oh man, that's a lot of hype to live up to right now.
Man, it's sweaty buckets right now.
That thing had like a bazillion views on YouTube alone, so yikes.
Which one?
The Oshinoko opening.
By the way, the manga is really good. Just putting it out there.
And we got Reddit over here. And I'm sure it is. I'm sure we'll cover it for the podcast. I look forward to see more Oshinoko ? But for today, it's what is it? Jellyfish Can't Swim at Night. So this is a ragtag team of teenager girls who, like I guess a motley crew of characters who come together to form a internet music band group, artist persona.
The Jelly.
Yes, the Jelly. So there is a lot of characters here. So I guess the protagonist is a girl called Mahiro, I think, and she's in high school. She used to be an artist. She used to draw a lot with her mom. My understanding is it's kind of a mystery, her relationship in her past. But at some point, she kind of gave up on her dreams, and have to do the Japanese. No, you go to high school, you go to college, you work in the office, you work 12-hour shifts, and you go get hammered,
Yes.
go get your bar. Thanks to Ryu, go to his local pub, and then do it all over again. And so she kind of gave up on the creative path at some point, and kind of let it go. But thankfully, she stumbles upon another girl named Kano, who is a fan of her work because the other girl, she had like a graffiti post with Jellyfish and I forget what part in Tokyo, a very famous part of Tokyo. I want to say Shibuya, but maybe I'm high.
I think it's Shibuya.
It might be Shibuya. It's very urban. It's very like city focused Tokyo.
Oh, no, I've seen people say it seems very stylish, I guess.
Yes, it definitely has like that urban city vibe to it. So it does stand out from the typical anime. I could smell the Tokyo air when watching this show. And it does a very good job with its setting backgrounds. Doga Kubo does a pretty good job bringing that, bringing the city as a character to life. So she bumps into her, who talks about, that she's a big fan of hers, and like, what happened to you? You used to do art, and then you disappeared. You should come back. Let's do art together. And then she herself is like a street musician. She's like singing with a guitar, very, Beckish kind of Angel Beats, whoever seen these shows.
Yeah, bump into other YouTubers and knock them off.
Yeah, so, that's funny. Yeah, she bumps into the YouTuber, and yeah, that's funny. A lot of internet stuff, which, as a person who dabbles in the internet with a podcast, a YouTube channel, and streaming stuff, coming this week, I swear, this time.
We're made to the modern times, everybody.
Yes, that's a thing. So I, instant attraction with this concept, which then brings into the other girl, Mai, who is a fan of because so the street musician used to be an idol in a big upcoming idol group in the area, but then she had a falling out with the idol group, and so she had to kind of go underground, if you will, doing her own thing as a solo artist. But a hardcore fan of her idol days recognizes her and wants to support her, and literally shows up out of the blue and gives like a lot of money to support her musical endeavor. A lot of money. So I guess she's a rich girl herself. She herself is like a superstar, like not academy, but like she goes to a very like musical school. She's very like academically smart, if you will, when it comes to regards to music, and she wants to be a composer herself in the future. And so she gets tangled with those two, and then it leads to our fourth member, Kiwi. Kiwi, that's what it is. She has a unique name.
The Ray.
Yes, I guess the Ray in the group, because she herself, her starting point in this group of merry women, I guess, is she is a upcoming VTuber who streams games on the internet and has her own like secret persona, which she is struggling through her own stuff. So that is the formula of these four characters coming together to try to form something unique and interesting that can only be found in the streets of Shibuya in Tokyo late at night, and collaboration, and posting it on the internets, on YouTubes, on Twitters, and all modern day 21st century stuff we're into these days. And so that was the hook in my appeal to the show, is to see these characters, can they pull it off, become zeros to heroes, if you will, which is what I was looking for, as I mentioned before last time in the podcast, because it checks a lot of the boxes that I look for in a show like this, like in Beck or something like that. And so it had a lot of promise, and like I said, the studio delivered on the goods. The biggest concern I had with it early on was the first two episodes had a lot of pacing issues, where it's a lot of characters, a lot of dumping of backstories, and it comes at you fast, and it's determined to, here it is, check in the boxes, let's go. And sometimes it's one of those shows, it felt like a Bungo Stray Dogs situation, which you could also look on that on my YouTube channel if you want.
A classic.
Actually, I think she's my most popular video. Yeah, and I did. It's funny, I did look that up because of the show, because the big sensation is like, do they have 10,000 views overnight? And I wondered, do I have 10,000 views? And sure enough, I do have 10,000 views thanks to my Bungo Stray Dogs video. So anyway, the point being is, on paper, it does a lot of things I wanted to do, but those first episodes were pretty rough, and it kind of took me out of it. But thankfully, episode 3 and 4 kind of get its act together and slow down the pacing and really focus on each new character and what they're bringing to the group and the collaboration they bring to it all. And so it had promising towards the end, where it slowed down and beat the pace. But where I left off, it's basically they just finally put out like their first new internet sensation as this new group, the Jellyfish or whatever they call themselves, Jelly, and they have like this whole persona because it's the real composer, the idol group, the artist, the VTuber / marketing person.
It's like a visual K kind of band. Like, here's the visuals along with here's the music.
Yeah, so they're all bringing something to the party and help provide to make this thing successful. So it is interesting to see it all work out together. And as a person who dabbles in this kind of stuff, it was easy to relate to, especially when the one girl is like, yeah, I don't have all day. I have to go home and go edit some more videos. Like, oh, me too, girl, me too.
Yeah, but that part, I swear, when I was watching a little bit, when I was watching, it's like, wow, look, Ray, that's you on TV. Look at that, man. I had to make product. Like, I gotta make content, man. I gotta make content. Look, here's my little YouTuber guy over here in the corner. And we're gonna play games all night. School?
That sounds like tomorrow's problem. Who needs sleep?
All I need is this can of Red Bull and some pizza. Let's go.
Look for the female Ray VTuber model coming out soon.
Yeah, it's just like
that's where the money's at.
It's like she's like me for real. Sorry.
Relates too much. But yeah, so it has some promise. But those first 2 episodes, yikes! It little rough stuff, but I'm feeling hopeful. We'll see if it will stick the landing after my 3rd pick. So that is the Jellyfish can't swim at night or something in the night. Blah blah blah. The
other one, girl band party. No one licensed that for some reason.
You're so mad at that mic, Frank. Leave that mic alone.
Yeah, because the other one, the girls band cry. Apparently, no one wanted to pick it up. It's Toei.
Yes, so we'll see. Maybe might do something with that in the future, but sadly it did not get picked up, so I went for the easy one. And
Cowards.
I had a cover. And plus, technically, I think it was a slightly more popular, so that's why I picked the Jellyfish one. But I hear both are pretty good, so who knows? Maybe it'll sneak its way onto YouTube or this said podcast, so stay tuned. Alrighty, that is my turn, so I'm passing the baton over to Frank. Frank, what is your second choice for 2024 spring season?
Okay, the second one I'm gonna talk about is Mysterious Disappearances.
Okay. A lot easier to say in English than Japanese.
Oh my god, in English I don't know. I mean Japanese. I had it written down, but I was like, what's the point now? Okay, so picked this one because the trailer was nice. They did a very good job in the trailer. They hooked me, and that's what the best thing they did.
They got you. They got you in the theaters, and they're like, yes.
So after watching this, I've promised myself that I'm gonna watch the openings before, at the very least, the openings.
All right, okay.
Because if I would have seen that opening, I would have realized right away.
Gather around, kids. I have a story to tell you. Don't make my mistakes I did, children.
Yes. All right. So I'll just tell you. I mean, I didn't even finish it. I didn't even finish the 3 episodes. I finished the first one, and then like not even 2 minutes into the second episode, I'm like, I can't handle it no more. It's just like disqualified. I don't care. Okay, so feelings aside, I'll still talk about it. Maybe somebody wants to watch this.
Maybe someone likes this show.
Okay, so don't ask me names, but basically it's about this girl who works at a bookstore, and she's apparently a writer, and she did some work in the past, and now she's kind of like in a rut. Is that right? She's like not writing good stuff. Her bosses are not liking her work. And then there's this other guy who works at a bookstore who looks very young, but I guess it's not because he's working there. He is like, I don't know if he's in love with her or he just likes her work a lot. It's not very clear.
He's familiar with her writing then?
Yeah, he likes her because he's like, I love your work.
Okay. And
then, but he kind of likes her because I think he asked her out or something like that. It's kind of weird. So she denies him, and he's weird because he has a boss and he won't talk to his boss. He only responds to her. Like, he's never talked unless it's her talking to him.
How do you get this job is my next question.
Are you sure that condition called love? That's what it sounded like earlier.
It's, this is where he's going to end up.
There you go.
It
all makes sense now.
The boss is talking to him, and then she's like, why aren't you answering him? And then the boss is like, oh, don't you know he only responds to you? And I'm like, if you know that, why is he still working there? Like,
right. We're like, fire this guy.
So it's her birthday, and she ends up going home, and being alone, and the guy's like, "Oh, I didn't know it was your birthday. Let's do something." And she's like, "No, if you really want to do something, leave me alone." So she goes home, starts drinking, and somehow
Bartender.
somehow it's all connected.
It's the same universe. I knew it.
And
Yeah,
then
she goes to Eden Hall, and that's
Then she
when,
picks up the golf
The
club.
next character was a guy that lost. his
And he had
memory.
amnesia. I look
No.
forward to the wolf girl.
So I don't know where she got this book, but she starts reading this book, and it's something like weird, like with the moon and all this. And she reads it, and she turns into a little girl.
That's a hell of a book.
And then she's kind of like in pain because apparently she shrunk into a little girl, but she's still a big girl. So she is like too big for her body. So she's like spitting out blood, spitting out stuff.
Guess you need that philosopher's stone.
And they end up so that happens.
Right.
And then you're back at work,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Where is she?" They call her, no answer, and then the guy's like, "Oh yeah, she's been pooping a lot or something like that." He says something. He makes up an excuse.
Spy Family.
Yeah. And then a week goes by, and it's like the boss is like, "Oh, I can't overlook this."
Yeah, that's kind of a
Can you?
really
At-
whole week.
At first, he was like, okay, got it. Take your time. And then a week goes by, like, "Oh, can you go check on her for me?" Because
A phone call, a text.
yeah. So he goes, and then he finds her that she's writing, and apparently she's really happy because now that she's a child, she can write better somehow.
Oh, so I'm assuming she has her memory still intact.
Yeah,
Okay.
but not only
It sounds like a lot like
This isn't
kinda.
no what's that? What was an anime called, Miles? The Kokoro, was it?
Oh, Kokoro Connect.
Yeah, where they also turn into kids, but they like their minds
I would
also.
say- I would say
turn
this
to
also-
kids.
This sounds a lot like Monogatari, like we're some weird
Magical,
non-
supernatural. Okay.
all right. So apparently she's like has the mind of like she remembers who she is,
Right.
but she now has the creativity of a child
Okay.
and is writing wonderful according
What
to
kind
her.
of books is she writing? Is my next
I don't
question.
know. I don't know.
Well, I think because she has wires block, right? Since she doesn't have that.
But how young is she?
I don't know. She looks like
Like elementary, middle school, high
at
school?
most she looks 12. At most.
Okay. Well, then she has a lot of deep insights as a
she's like a
12-year-old.
very little girl.
It must be an adolescent story. I'm gonna take it.
She looks about as big as the guy that works there, which is weird.
Oh, there you go. That's comforting already.
So
Now it's just starting to make a move.
she runs away. She runs away, and he ends up catching her, and somehow he knows a lot about what's going on with her.
Oh.
She's like, "Oh, this is happening to you," and then and then she's like, "Did the book chose me or what?" "No, it's just a coincidence. You happen to be 28. You said the phrase that there was a moon, and
Everything's just right.
and then like, oh yeah, the last thing."
This is Monogatari right here. Like
Sounds
a
like
lot
it.
of nonsense, and she had to be. He's the really smart one. He's the actual
Well,
protagonist.
let's give it a chance.
Sorry.
Let's see where it goes, Miles.
And then like the last thing is like, "Oh, and also you had to be a virgin," and he goes, "Hee hee," and then
Okay, never mind. All right, never.
Oh, anime.
Whoops a daisy.
and they're like, "Oh, you like." I guess she's like, "Oh, I guess there's no denying it now," then or something like that.
Magic is real.
So he says to her, "I can fix you. You just need to say this phrase, and you'll grow up big." She does it, and he goes back to normal. And then he's like, "Give me the book back," and she just takes it and runs away.
Oh.
And she's like, "I need it because I need to be a child
To write again.
And then so he's like, "No, it's dangerous. Like you can die."
Didn't you mention she was bleeding out or something?
Yes, he was.
Because it was like bad alchemy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's pretty much episode 1 and
Physics.
Episode 2 pretty much it's they end up making an agreement or something, and oh, by the way, she's missing now because she's a child, so nobody knows she's her. So
Right.
the adult version of her is missing, and I'm guessing that's like,
Uh-oh.
oh, she disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if more people are gonna disappear or not, and I do not care to find out.
Did sound like it.
So basically, episode 2, he tells her that she needs to blend in her little sister's school and make friends with her sister. So basically, she's
going undercover?
undercover like an elementary, I think.
Well, all right, that's okay. The key's closed now.
Well, that's one way to deal with the situation.
And that's where I
guess.
stopped.
Oh,
That's where I stopped.
okay, I don't blame you now, Frank, after hearing this.
Okay, so the story for me it's like whatever. It could go somewhere nice.
Do you like supernatural mumbo jumbo, Frank?
The thing is that I said the story. Now I haven't said why I don't like it.
Mhm.
Which I mean, it's not the best story. The thing is this is like an excuse to watch almost porn, because it's like
So anime?
the very no, but this is like over the top. Like if you see the
Huh.
opening, she literally comes out naked in the opening,
Yeah.
and she has like humongous,
Big old
Boom.
knockers.
like 2 watermelon worth. Like I don't know, which is weird because
She spends a lot of money on bras.
when she has clothes, she looks like a normal person, but then she goes naked, and it's like, what the heck?
They're doing a lot of heavy lifting. Sounds like.
And then it has like a lot of crotch pick like shots,
Stop talking about guys.
and it's kind of weird because I feel like she's like underage, like
Well,
like
it sounds like half the time she's a child.
yeah, so I like very
That's concerning.
very young, like pre-puberty, like. So it's like, okay, is it okay? Yeah, she's old, but I don't, she's not really old, so it's okay if we
Lollies, your favorite, Frank.
I don't know if that's the deal,
Sounds like it could be.
but at first I'm like, okay, they just want certain scenes, to hook,
Right.
But it's just too much. Like I'm like, I wasn't liking it, but I'm like, okay, I'll finish it. And then it started off, and right away, like, oh, a changing scene, a shower scene.
Okay.
So it's like a lot. So I just feel like if you're looking into watching almost naked girls of all ages,
Yikes.
with an excuse of if
Uh-huh.
you want to call that a story,
Oh, okay.
then watch it.
There you go. And when you're done with that, might suggest No Game, No Life, also on my Sourdough Shonen channel. She's 11 years old.
No Game, No Life is a masterpiece compared to this.
That's a bold statement,
There
sir.
you go.
So I was wanting to watch it now.
That'll be Frank over
Quick
here,
question.
guys.
This is Mysterious Disappearance?
That sounds
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Wasn't this like the one you were looking forward to?
I gotta tell you that
He did choose it.
that trailer was a that trailer
was a liar.
like, I don't know what was going on, but I'm like, damn, this
No children, no big boobies, no crotches, no
I
nothing, no
guess it's-
showers.
Because I'm looking at the picture and like the screenshot, it looks like it's gonna be a good show.
The marketing team is doing a hell of a number.
gotta dig deep a little next time.
That's
like,
what it is. They
you know-
got you. They got it. They're doing the job. They're
I
doing the
mean,
job.
to defend myself a little.
Is anything before? I'm sorry to cut you off, Greg. Is anything mysterious, or instead of her, is anyone else disappearing?
She's the only one.
She's the only one,
disappeared.
okay.
I mean, unless they're gonna go around and forcing other people to do that forcing other 28-year-old virgins to do that
There you go.
incantation. I don't see how they're gonna disappear.
Well, it's Japan, so they have a pretty high chance, I suppose.
So, or I don't know. Are they gonna go around and kill people as little kids and like?
I don't know. It's When They Cry, and also a favorite of mine. There you go.
I
Not on YouTube yet.
I
Coming
would
soon.
have moved on a few more episodes and maybe find out what's going on, but this just
too much of a
It's
mystery and
porn.
too horny.
It's
it's
porn.
just like
Japan.
I don't know. It's just
Come on, Frank. One of us. One of us.
Just close your eyes. Just fast forward to all the.
there's a
fans
time
are-
and a place, and like right now, like wasn't it.
Well, if we think of the age gap between them and then the other show with the golfer and the girl, it's about the same. It's about the same. It just seems dirty when they're in the teenage years. But once you get past that, it's okay, Frank. It's okay.
Yeah, it's just,
I was like, nah, man, I'm not. Nah, I can take that.
Nah, man, for those reasons, that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. Oh, well, there goes the
There's-
disappearance, and Frank is disappearing along with it, it sounds like.
there's- you cannot feel. Personally, I cannot feel right about liking anything about this series.
All right, fair enough, Frank. Fair enough. So look forward to the full review coming soon.
Yeah.
That's
No, it's not even one of those. It's not one of like, oh, I'll finish. No.
Having said that, it's okay. Having said that, I look forward to the DLC.
Uh-huh.
I'll finish it. No. It's not one of those.
Alrighty, Frank. Alrighty, Ivan. We're on to the big grand finale, big 3 for you, Ivan. So what is the last choice for, I was going to say fall, spring 2024?
2 months or 2 seasons later. I don't know.
Too soon, or too late.
Kaiju number 8. And I just looked at the ratings, and this one is number 1.
Here you go.
Yeah.
People can't be wrong. Jujutsu Kaisen fans are never wrong.
Yeah. Well, probably one of the best first episodes I've seen.
All right.
So it just does a good job. It's just a good first episode. So basically, kaiju's attack whatever, they attack, and there's a task force that fights the kaijus. Basically, our protagonist, he's part of the cleanup crew after the kaiju is killed off.
Okay, and the kaijus are like Godzilla, big skyscraper monsters.
There's different sizes, but yeah. So the
Okay.
first one, the first episode was like a Godzilla size.
Okay.
So they get killed off, and then our main character is part of the cleaning crew, but it's not what he wanted to do. He wanted to be in the
Fighting the monsters, I
fighting
imagine.
the monsters.
Okay.
And then there's like and then so the captain of the task force was his childhood friend,
Oh.
and so there's like a scene where they kind of walk there. She's walking towards either like celebrating because they defeated
Right.
the kaiju, and he's walking towards the cleanup.
Right. All right.
Yeah,
the crossing.
so-
Okay, that's kind of neat.
So, and then I think it's the first episode. I don't remember. And this other character comes into the story, and he wants to join the cleaning crew, but he wants to eventually go to the task force. So he's using that as like almost experience to be around it. Things happen, blah blah blah. So by the end of the first episode, basically the main character, because they get attacked by some kaiju, and then the task force they kill it off, and by the introduction of this new character that came in, he kind of remembered that that's what he really wanted to do, which was to be in the task force. So he goes like, you know what, I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna go join in. And as the episode is finishing, I guess it's the first episode. This creature comes in and says, "I found you," and goes inside of him, and he becomes a kaiju. He becomes like a Ultraman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So does he get big?
No, he's like his same size, but he becomes like
But he's like a little kaiju.
almost, but not like a robot.
But like a demon monster,
Yeah.
but like a skin suit kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Like Venom?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Okay.
yeah.
I got you.
So so that's the first episode. That's the setup. So and they're like running away, because they're gonna get killed off.
Right.
And blah 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 blah, things happen, blah blah blah. So
Nice.
Blah blah blah, and then next he saves the world.
so
Yada yada yada, and that's it.
Then Aaron shows up, and they take down the Titans.
so basically in the first episode, I think it's the first episode, because once you
Right.
see
The first.
like,
It's like a movie, basically.
So basically, there when he first transforms, this other kaiju comes and attacks, and that's where he kind of is realizing how much power he has, and he's really, really strong, right?
Okay.
So he is kind of like a one punch man, because he can just one punch,
Everything. He's just like superly, crazily strong with this kaiju suit or power up transformation.
Yeah. And then when that's like the introduction. So when like the first arc starts, it's about him and the guy that joined the cleanup, them to go and try to do like the exam to join the task force, because he's already
shooting exam.
Yeah. So he's already older. He's like 32 or something like that, and he's like trying to.
One of us.
This is the only thing that kind of I didn't like.
He's too old.
No, because
I don't like that part either. When I look in the mirror.
There's no little girl to marry.
Damn it.
So basically, they introduced another character, which is if you've seen like the screenshots of like this blonde hair girl with a ponytail. No, not the what's it called? The one with two
Twin tails.
twin tails. Yeah.
The Tsundere, probably.
I was gonna say it sounds like one.
Yeah. So
Yeah, if it's not, I'll eat my hat.
I'm willing to put money on this.
No, I see her.
yeah.
I see you.
So and she.
Can you confirm? Can you confirm?
Yeah,
I can confirm.
Yeah.
Save file.
Oh yeah, she's definitely assumed.
Aren't they pigtails?
Pigtail. Well, that works too. Isn't that? Everyone
No,
calls it
pig-
Or
something.
does she need to gain weight?
No, because pigtails come like they're more like braids going down like this.
No.
Like Wendy, like the Wendy's girl kind of has pig. That's pig. I just know something.
No. All right. We're losing the plot here for one, gentleman, and two, I think you're wrong.
Hey, you
Miles.
brought it up.
Well, I don't think I did.
You're not familiar with women's hairstyles? No, right? No.
I mean, the female VTuber model will be. I'm not there just yet.
There's ponytails. There's twin tails. I mean, we could be here for days here.
It sounds like. But back to Ivan.
Yeah. So, she is like based so they're doing the exam and they put on like the suit and the suit tells you how much potential you basically have, and she's a prodigy, so she's like at a 50% just putting on the show. This is what I kind of didn't like, and they're doing the whole deku with the main guy where like he got like no.
You mean soul leveling?
No, I will compare more to deku.
Alrighty.
Because kind of like quirkless, so
okay.
so, and it was a little weird because he would never was able to pass the test because I guess technically he has like no potential.
Or so he's just kept failing this test, I guess. But thanks to this new power, maybe he will pass.
Yeah. So no, well, he already had the power when he put on the suit.
Okay.
So he still was at a 0%.
Oh, I see.
But it was just a little weird because like it's like it felt weird that like this is like this grown man that's like hard labor, working, and they try to portray him as like out of shape, not almost like having like a basic foundation to like some kind of like strength, athleticism. So it just felt a little.
They were calling you out, Ivan.
Yeah. at least I'm fast. So I mean, it just felt like it didn't really fit in my opinion. Like to everyone's like getting like these high levels, and then he was like 0. So anyway,
that's what happens when you hit 30. That's what happens.
And once again, he's trying to. He made a promise to the captain of the squad, whatever, that he will be next to her, that they will be doing this together, because their backstory, blah blah blah, So
love interest potentially.
Yeah. So he's trying to reach her, but once again, he has like no potential.
He's a big loser, and she's a big winner.
Yeah. So in the first little arc that happened, because that one finishes in episode 4, they're doing the exam, and there's where they have to go fight the kind of exam, kill off kaijus, but things happen, and he has
of course.
And he has
Orochimaru shows up and everything.
Yeah, and he has to transform, right? But once that little thing of him having no potential, blah blah blah, happens, and then he transforms, I think that they executed very very good. So I'm not surprised that it has like a high rating as a show. So I am interested because it's opening up the world of because I guess the first antagonist shows up, and he's a kaiju that speaks.
Oh.
And then so the ponytail girl, she's like, "What the hell? Why is this thing talking?" Etc. etc.
Right. They never talk.
And we still didn't even know why
they're even attacking.
Well, why the main guy got picked?
Oh, right.
Why he got the power? So there's like a lot of mysteries in a really good way. So
I'm a bit of a sucker for mystery.
So so I think it's checking the boxes.
The boxes.
I just didn't really like that whole Deku thing, like no potential, quirkless.
You tell me you can't be a hero too?
Yeah.
I believe he can be a hero.
But it helps that he already has a
big super power up.
Yeah, a big super power up.
It's fine.
So
just a little power up.
It almost feels like, I guess you're right. It feels like a little bit like solo leveling and like My Hero.
So, but this one's gonna be good though, right?
Than solo leveling.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
I'm the hater of solo leveling. If people don't know,
I think just from the first couple of episodes, I think I already like it more. But we'll see where it goes. But I think it's gonna be good. I mean, you have to really fumble the bag,
Well, it is production IG, so I'm not worried about IG. I'm not worried about that.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long, long time ago.
I think it's almost
What's the line?
Was it very almost 10? Something ridiculous.
If it isn't Ghost in the Shell, I don't know what they do these days. Simple as that. Well, no, that does sound promising. Chunin exam? Oh, hello.
Yeah, it is the next hot shonen. It's like.
Is it a Shonen Jump thing or what is it?
Yeah, because after Jujutsu Kaisen and the other Chainsaw Man, it's probably number 3 afterwards.
Oh, the current big 3.
Yeah,
because I haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen. I've only watched the first 4 episodes.
That's the way to watch it.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I care more about this one just with the introduction or even just the introduction was interesting, the cleanup crew. It's you never think about that.
Right, what does happen?
Yeah.
And you see that a little bit in Ava, where after they blow up the angel and just you see the guts and the blood spilling out, but it's never really talked about.
Yeah, so it is
Shinji.
It was, but yeah, it just we'll see, but it's still a good setup. I in my opinion.
got promise. It's got promise.
I read the manga a while ago. So,
of course you did.
And I argue like this probably should be a lot better than Jujutsu Kaisen is.
Well, that's not saying much once again.
I know, but I'm saying like because like this is the you put shonen right.
This one's the good one, I swear.
That's it checks the box. That's the shonen title.
This one's the real chosen one, not the false prophet.
Yeah,
I would. It would be hard for me to like someone watch it and like dislike it. I can't see someone like not.
Have you met Ray?
Not like.
Yeah.
I know. I did watch the first couple episodes.
He was only this big. He should have been that big.
And it does feel a lot like Ghost in the Shell, very 90s kind of anime. In a way, because it feels like for Christ, they have like English English opens and endings.
They're really swinging for the Western market.
I swear, for a minute I go like, am I watching Ghost in the Shell? Like, because Ghost in the Shell, this early CG opening, right?
Oh,
this show does the same thing.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, well, it sounds. I think. What was your second choice again, Ivan?
Oblivion Battery.
The baseball. Yeah, I think this is so far is getting my vote, but we'll have to stay tuned to the very end to see what will get chosen.
No way, it's a condition of love.
That's how could I forget? How can I forget that masterpiece? Slightly, if not just how to not toxic relationship 101. How can you go wrong with such a show like that? So it is my turn for my third and final choice of this season, and I went for, I think it's actually the highest popular out of my 3 years. Yeah, I guess it is. Apparently it's right after the Kaiju number 8. Now I'm pulling it up. And my third choice this season is once again another anime remake from the mid 2000s. This being Spice and Wolf Merchant meets the Wise Wolf. Whoop, whoop. And it is indeed a remake of the original show. As far as I can tell, a couple episodes in, I have seen the original Spice and Wolf in context. As you can tell, Miles is quite the big fan of it in the background.
No, not me. No, you're not.
Who's that? I got you, Miles. Let's see. Where is it? Let me look on the soundboard here. There it is.
Me? Nah.
Miles and the children rejoice for Spice and Wolf's return.
Children, do you want to learn about economics?
Yeah, if you're a big old nerd, have I got a show for you apparently. So yes, like I said, I am familiar with the original show. It ends kind of in a cliffhanger, just kind of stop and ends with 2 seasons. But so I was curious to see what will happen and will we get a full retelling, because this is originally a visual novel series. And the last season came out, I don't know, 15 years ago. It's been a long time, but it is a remake, so it's not a sequel, so you don't have to go back and watch the original. You can just start here in 2024's version and get the Spice and Wolf experience, I feel like, so far.
That's what you're saying. It's like a music band. Welcome to the Spice and Wolf experience.
A lot of guitars. Look forward to the drugs coming. So this show stars our 2 main characters, a potential, maybe wink if we watch the opening scene. Definitely romance interest, perhaps.
Yeah, wow,
spoilers, I guess, that for those who are familiar with the light novel series, not the anime version.
Yeah, cowards.
There is Mr. Lawrence, and of course, everyone's favorite wolf girl of all time, Hollow, has returned. A lot of people are busy right now on the internet trolling Hollow all over again. She was quite the fan favorite for a while.
And best girl won for the year already. Thank you guys.
Indeed,
the poll is closed. Thank you.
Indeed,
it's been a good day.
She is definitely content for best girl of 2024. I'll put my money on it right now. So yes, in this series, we meet Lawrence, who is a traveling merchant who goes from town to town in a very, I guess, old-timey fantasy world setting. There's no electricity, no one's using Wi-Fi going on here. It's just traveling merchants from town to town. And he stumbles upon a small little village where they're harvesting their wheat for the season. It's a big event, and there's whole folklore about once upon a time, many moons ago in these lands, there used to be a fox who would help raise the crops and would bring prosperity to the village and the town.
Fox deity.
Indeed. Togashi would be a fan of this religion.
I argue he is.
And if you read and /watch Hunter /Yu Hakusho, you'll see a couple fox girls perhaps. But anyway, in Spice and Wolf, there is the spiritual deity god called Hollow, but it's kind of this legend that all the townsfolk kind of make a joke of, like, oh, look out for the deity, the god, she's gonna get you. No one believes in this, but it turns out, sure enough, Hollow is a real life wolf girl who shows up and sneaks her way out of the village by jumping herself into Lawrence's little traveling cart of merchandise. And he finds her in the back of her truck, and it's a whole mystery. She's a half-naked girl. Thankfully she is not she's beyond her teenage years, so yeah, it's okay to be horny on this one, maybe. So that boy, the anime bar is so low these days, isn't it, gentlemen?
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, so it's a bit of a subtle awakening. He doesn't believe at first, like, oh, you can't be a real god. Real gods aren't, real, and those are fake. Those are just anime cosplay fox ears. You take them off, this and that. But sure enough, she transforms in front of him, but it's a mystery to us viewers of what happens. But you just see his reaction where he's just like petrified, scared out of his mind, and it's this whole thing. And so basically, like I said, she has like a falling out with the village because they don't believe in her, and she wants to escape and travel the world. Because she's not originally from that area, she comes from the Great North. So Game of Thrones fans rejoice if I got a show for you.
And like Ende, where is it from? Friend?
Oh yes, also yeah, she's looking for the demon lord's castle.
How many days have passed Himmel, everybody?
Yeah, Himmel is still dead. I can confirm he's now a century old. He's still in the ground. Can confirm. Thankfully, we're not dealing with Himmel, but once again, Lawrence and Holo, who are just kind of traveling around, slowly maybe working their way north to get back to our home
making
grounds.
deals and taking currency along the way.
And so yeah, that is the main focus. Overall, they're kind of traveling from town to town, problem to problem, but a lot of it, as Miles hinted at, is about business, logistics, and how to flip a coin around. Economics, indeed. Where for instance, back in our day here in America, the silver dollar coin used to be actually made out of silver, right? Which is a highly valuable thing these days. But now it is no longer made in the. Plus, they don't make many of them, but most of them are not made actual silver. They're made out of very little silver, just enough.
0.0000001.
Legally enough to say, yeah, it's silver, but it's not really silver. It's just like your gold coins and how gold is worth money. And there's a lot of that going on because there's this thing early on in episode 2 and 3 where they talk about, oh, there's a rumor in the new kingdom they're going to reissue the coins, and the coins are going to be worth. They're going to have more gold or more silver in it. It's going to be worth more money, and we have to. If you buy now, you can sell. Buy low for now and then sell high later on if you play the game, right? It's all like the reseller market, stocks, options. So if you're an economics business kind of
video
person,
games.
yes, indeed. If anyone remembers, was it Rusty? What was it? Rusty's baseball.
That game was I don't get.
Where you had to negotiate cheaper prices for the mini games.
Uh-huh.
Have I got a show for you, perhaps? So yeah, there's a lot of really intricate, very nerdy things, which if you're into that kind of scene when it comes to, like I said, buying low, selling high, and turning a profit, it's that. You got Holo in the mix.
And apples.
And apples, she loves her apples. Who is a very, fitting for a character because he tends, foxes are portrayed as like very cunning and smart and wise individuals.
Wise wolf,
indeed. So all those monikers that you see in a lot of different anime, she also has that in her character profile as well. So yeah, and a lot of smart alecky talk here and there. So kind of witty, smart dialogue, but you do have to kind of pay attention to it.
Very quippy.
There is an English dub. I do recommend the English dub over the Japanese, but maybe that's just me being a dub fan. I'm preferring it. That's why I remember watching the original, and I still think it works a little bit better than the Japanese, but maybe I fall asleep during money talk, so if it's in English, I have a chance for staying awake. But yeah, it is more of the same from far as I can remember of the original Spice and Wolf. The art designs are different. It is more the art designs from the original character designer behind the light novels. So if you're a purist like that, you're a hardcore fan, and you want that experience because the 2000s anime has different designs.
Well,
they're very 2000 anime designs.
It is 2000s.
It's a product of its time,
right.
Let's say.
Let's just leave it at that. They're both good in their own.
Yeah, I don't mind the 2000s because of course I grew up in the 2000s, so I'm maybe biased towards that.
If there's a new Nendoroid Hollow, well,
there you go. Now there's gonna be 2 models coming out.
Well,
now you gotta catch them all.
I hate to. I'm gonna be broke this summer anyway.
There you go, indeed. So yeah, overall, I enjoyed what I watched.
So did I.
I bet you did, Miles. But yeah, at the same time, my concern is like, is this gonna work in the long term? Because in a short little series about these 2 characters who are, pretty smart, whip and witty and this and that. But the economics sometimes like kind of make me fall asleep sometimes. So it is a fine balance of the two, and I'm curious to see what will happen. The thing that I have has me the most curious to keep watching is that, once again, in the very beginning of episode 1, they tease of we're getting farther beyond the original anime left off on. So I am curious to see how far we get in this adaptation of Spice and Wolf. So I will be curious to keep going down that one.
I forgot the name of the sequel. Damn it.
What, the anime?
There's a sequel. No, because
another series?
No. It's like the sequel of Spice and Wolf. I forgot the name of it was.
Oh, I have no idea. Only you would know.
Yeah, but I forgot the name of it.
Spice and Wolf 2.
No, it's that lame.
Spicier Wolf? Spicier and Wolves.
Okay,
I have a good one. The Spicy Wolf Empire Strikes Back.
There you go. Yeah. I'll buy it. So yes, that is Spice and Wolf in 2024. It has some promise, but will it make the final cut? You have to say too.
I know where it made fuck up mine.
Yeah, and thankfully Miles is not officially on the panel today, so we definitely know which one he would pick.
Oh, but I'm waiting though.
We'll have to stay tuned, Miles, with everyone else. So Frank, you're the final man to go for your final third pick of the season. Hopefully it will not involve lollies, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Poor Frank's
percentage though, it's not looking good.
Poor Frank's scarred for life now.
You're pausing too long, Frank. You're making me nervous.
Oh, it's because they put those shots and you're like, they start from the bottom up, and then once you get to the top, like, oh no.
Should I? Oh no, I shouldn't. Oh no, I shouldn't.
No, because I feel like in moments like you're watching certain episodes, like, okay, this is fine. No, like we're green, right? It starts going to yellow. Like, okay, now I'm cautious now. Red, okay, now I when it gets like, warning.
Where's the tissue box? Oh, never mind. Burn it.
Hope there's no children in the room right now.
There you go. Lock that door.
I've heard about Spice and Wolf, and the way you described it is not what I thought it was gonna be about.
It's not. I mean,
it sounds like item girl recipe.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
My first question? What do you think it was about, Frank?
I thought it was about like two wolves, and
I mean,
let's see. I want to see.
And like one of them lost their kid, and
amnesia.
Trying to find just like they separated, and just, I don't know. I just thought it was a wolf story, but no humans involved.
One is definitely a human.
I thought it was a romance.
Maybe a very slow burning, perhaps.
But along with financial, like
I said, when we get to season 3 quotation marks, maybe we'll get there.
I'm interested in it. I think if I would have seen it, I would have put it as one of my 3.
But no, you can watch both versions on Crunchyroll.
Yes, you can. If you're curious, you can watch both.
All right. So my third one is called The Fable. And I saw this because I wanted something not lolly. So it looks like this gangster anime, Yakuza, and I'm like, okay. It kind of reminds me of Kaiji, where there's just like no girls in.
It's safe.
I don't even know what a female looks like.
Frank's like,
yeah, I just wanted something, just something to cleanse the mind.
Something I can watch with my family with all the Yakuzas. They're nice Yakuza. They're nice Yakuza.
So, looking at the trailer of this, I'm like, okay, some kind of reminds me of that other one I picked. Not picked, but reviewed or previewed. What was it called? Oh, My Home Hero.
Oh, the one that got I got you. I remember.
Sort of similar because the Yakuza is involved again, but it's not from the perspective of this guy who's the victim of
Right.
It's I guess I should start explaining.
Go for it.
It's about this guy who they call the Fable, or who earned the name based off of his actions. He's a hitman, and he's so good that they started calling him the Fable. And it starts off with, I don't know what the Fable means, but that's just like, oh my god, he's real.
Fable. He is real.
So apparently he's so good, like he goes into whoever's he can kill, and he like one shot everybody, like doesn't miss.
One time.
I was gonna say fearless.
Fearless. Almighty.
Thankfully it's not like that.
Thank you for that.
We all get mental scars today, apparently.
So I went in thinking, it's gonna be a Yakuza story, or Yakuzas versus Yakuza, something like that.
The good Yakuza versus the bad Yakuza.
Sopranos.
I had no idea what was I getting into, and I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's about this guy, and it starts off, he does a hit, and then he goes with his boss and assistant. There's this girl that helps him out, and she does everything he tells her. Oh, could be a slave. I don't know.
Well, stay tuned.
So basically they're in the car, they're talking about, oh, it went well, and they're saying that, I guess, I didn't pay too much attention here because it's in Japanese, and sometimes they talk so fast, I can't read it, and I don't want to rewind it.
Okay.
But I think I got the gist of it.
Okay.
They've been doing so much work that it's becoming dangerous, so they need to lay low.
Okay, gotcha.
So he basically tells them, all right, you need to lay low for a year. I'm going to give you some money, and then just don't cause any trouble.
Okay.
You're going to go stay with the Yakuza.
Nice and safe.
Like,
nice and
they have a house for you. They'll take care of you. Just don't kill anybody, and
we'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Okay.
So he ends up going with the girl, and they start posing as brothers and sisters.
Okay. I love Samurai-X.
So as they're going, they're at a store, and she ends up going inside to shop something, and he's like, oh, he goes, there's some guys over there that are trying to steal cars. I'm gonna just stay here and watch them. And he ends up watching them, and he's kind of like, no, don't steal that one. There's nothing in there.
There's no money in it.
Or like, there's somebody in there. Let's get the other car. Look, the other car. That's the good one. That's the good. And then they skip the car. He's like, oh, amateurs. And then those guys end up seeing him, that they're being watched, so they go up to him, and he's like, oh, don't touch me. And then they kind of think he's scared, so they're like, oh no, we can do it. They end up getting beat up. I don't know if they killed him. He might have killed him.
Oh, so laying low.
And then the girl comes out, and so like, I just left for 5 minutes, and you're already like breaking your promise. Like, this is gonna be really hard for a year.
Apparently.
And then he goes, well, they touched me. Like, what was I supposed? I'm trained to kill somebody under 6 seconds. He's like, I'm not asking you how you did it. I'm telling you. And so they end up going, and he's like, you know what? This might be harder than I thought. Like, not killing anybody for a year. Anyways, they end up, I think they go to Osaka or Okinawa, one of the O's.
Okay.
He ends up, he's kind of weird. Like, he says, okay, because they're like, this is okay, I can do this. I know 6 languages. And then he goes, I know Kansai dialect, kanji. So he says like 6 different Japanese dialects.
Right.
And he's like, that's all Japanese.
Yeah, because
but you're underestimating how important this is. Anyways,
it's a comedy.
It's not a comedy, but it has funny moments.
Okay.
So
I
would say I don't know, maybe it is. I don't know.
Is it like a dark comedy kind of? Is it like like a Dexter, or what's it? The Barry?
Maybe it's kind of like Barry.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Maybe it's kind of like Barry. So he ends up like saying, okay, I just gotta flip the switch. I can become another person. I can have the kanji dialect, and I guess to flip the switch, he ends up going like this. He hits his forehead.
Okay.
And he goes. Anyways, it works apparently. It works apparently. And so they get there, and nobody knows who they really are. They just the Yakuza, they all think that it's just 2 people that moved in, and we're not supposed to know anything about them, and we're not gonna tell you. Then there's the boss, and there's the captain, I guess the second in command, and they're kind of testing him when they both meet him, and I guess it is funny. Like,
I'm just realizing this might be funny.
They go shopping, and so they're expecting, like, because they hear, oh, Fable, this is the legendary hitman, and then they go, and he looks like Waldo. And he's like, this is the guy we were like,
right, this is the guy we're supposed to be scared of, and the legend, and this and that.
So they test him, like, oh, if you were to kill me, what would you do? And then they're like, oh, I would first I would hit your boss, and then I would take your gun. And then the boss is like, wait, you're not supposed to be carrying a gun in my room. And he's like, oh, you got me. and then he goes, well, what are you gonna do? There's like 10 men outside. Then there's only 6 bullets in that gun. And he goes, that's fine. I'll take your gun too. And it's like, oh, you got me too. So that's kind of like that. I enjoy that kind of humor. They find their Airbnb or whatever it is. He finds all the cameras and removes them. Doesn't do that for his sister for some reason.
He's keeping up with us for
So
himself.
there's the security guy that's watching her, and he always watches her change.
So the Yakuza's also watching him?
So the Yakuza's taking care of them.
Okay.
Like,
but he works for them, no?
He works for, not really works for them, but they've hired him before.
Oh, okay.
So like the old boss hired him once, so they kind of have that relationship.
Gotcha.
So now that they're going into hiding, the new boss says, you know what, we'll take you. He's worked with us before. We'll hide.
They'll take care of him. You know, like Motel 6.
We'll put a little bit in that.
He kind of went into witness protection via Yakuza.
Right. Gotcha.
But the second in command kind of doesn't agree and is kind of testing him out. And he ends up like earning his respect by like episode 2, and he's like, you know what, I just needed to make sure.
Right.
To summarize it, it's the way I see it. It's about this hitman who is trying his best to live a normal life, and it's really hard.
Right.
So
this is like some like Spy Family.
It's got a little Spy Family vibes going on here.
You could say that. So it's cool. I'm liking it. If it was what I thought it was gonna be, I would have easily picked Tonbo, but now I'm not sure. I'm not sure. They're both very different.
What about Mysterious Disappearance, Frank?
We all make mistakes.
Is that a no?
I mean, it's definitely
Somebody's getting dropped.
So I mean, it's cool. I like that it's not like so focused on the action, on the killing. It's like this guy trying to live his life.
Right.
Like he even gets a pet, and yeah. So it looks like there's gonna be a romantic interest. We'll see.
We'll see. Every anime.
I just like he likes this stupid guy. He's called the Jackal, and he comes out on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, he thinks it's hilarious. This show is like, think of Persona 4. That guy that comes out and he sells stuff on TV.
Oh.
He reminds me of that guy.
The Persona 3 guy?
No, Persona 4.
But isn't that the Persona 3 guy?
Is it? I don't remember. But he's always...
Help me out, Miles.
With Teddy?
No,
not Teddy. The salesman on the TV.
The salesman on the TV.
Oh, what is
and the song is catchy.
But
Takuma, right, because he's from Persona 3.
Takana's like
something.
Oh, yeah, because it's a gag.
Because he also shows up in Persona 5, kind of.
Well, there's always a version of him in 3, 4,
but like
and 5.
he's originally for Persona 3. I've never played 2 or 1, so I'll never know.
I'll have to check.
We'll have to verify, but I think that's true.
He kind of reminds me of that sort of character.
Okay, I gotcha.
And like he thinks he's hilarious.
Right.
And then the girl's like, I really like this show. Anyways, as when he goes to that town, he sees that he comes out in a commercial and he sells like these cleaning supplies. And he goes, "Oh, Jekyll, you do commercials too?" And he goes, "Oh man, he's such a hard worker.
He's doing it all. He's hustling out here."
And then he buys a cleaning supply. Like,
all right, that's kind of funny and silly.
So it's just like at first I was kind of like put off by his like attitude because he's kind of like very serious and he's kind of weird. Like,
right.
But he has that thing like he likes that Jackal guy, and then he has a weird personality. So I
highly recommend.
I don't know.
Perhaps.
I mean, I have to finish it to say that.
There you go.
But for sure,
it's got potential.
Yeah. So
okay.
It surprised me.
So,
lastly, the opening is okay, but the ending I like the song a lot.
It's a winner. Okay.
It's very upbeat.
Google it. I guess Spice Wolves were probably the best opening endings I think about for my shows.
I feel like
forgot about talking about that.
I feel like I went all over the place, but
it's quite the story. You're quite the salesman yourself here, Frank.
Yeah.
I look for your cameo in the next Persona game. All right, gentlemen, we have covered our 3 shows a pop. All 9 animes were covered this season. So now it is time to figure out which one will cut the mustard, the cream of the crop will rise to the top. And we'll get a full review here on Taco Otaku in the next, 2-3 months. I think that's how the schedule works.
Yep.
So let's go back to Ivan. Ivan, what will be the official chosen show for the season?
A condition called love. I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm joking.
I was going to say.
But wait, hold a minute.
Are we going for worst ever podcast? I'll pick the Mysterious Disappearances and...
See, I knew he was going to probably joke about that, right? But I was like, for a minute, like, or is he?
If he was going to stick to that, I was going to say, bruh, don't do this to me.
No, Kaiju No. 8.
Okay, we're going for the big action monster show.
It's going to be the show that underneath, right? There's gonna, like, you're going to sickly hate watch afterwards, so as a palate cleanser.
There you go. Sounds like it. All right. I guess out of curiosity, what have been your second and third? All right, well, I think we can imagine what your third choice is, but let's just say to clarify for the audience out there, what would be second, third choice there, Ivan?
The second is a baseball one, and third is a condition.
Well, I mean, Stockholm Syndrome is healthier here these days, so give it a shot. Give it a shot if that's what you're into. For myself, it was a bit of a dilemma back and forth. Which one do I choose out of my chosen one? But in fact, I will be going with the one I can't remember the name off the top of my head because I keep remembering the one. Basically, the Jellyfish show.
Boo!
I chose it because I related too much to it, and my curiosity.
That's because that's you in it. That's the reason why.
Well, there's something, like I said, I was able to relate to.
Reasonable bias.
And I'm curious to see if this show can live up to my expectations to be the successor of Beck or something of the sort.
Fans, there's been silence just right then and there.
We'll see. Spice and Wolf. I'm sure there's plenty of Spice and Wolf love
Don't
out
worry,
there.
I won't forget it.
There you go. Maybe it might find its second life out here on the podcast. But for this particular season, I am going to
make
stick
it so.
with the creative girls come together and make a wacky, crazy internet adventure, perhaps.
I also watch that too.
I'll watch it. I'm curious about Spice and Wolf.
So we'll see what happens there. But that is my choice. As I mentioned, I guess the second choice would be Spice and Wolf. And third would be Mr. Bartender. While I still enjoyed Bartender, I imagine it would do very poor on this panel. So that is why.
I know trains. I like seeing.
That's true. You are the only other person who at least dabbles in the booze.
Beer. Well, no, it's easier beer.
Well, beer.
Beer. How to open beer? Simple. Open can.
And pour in the glass.
That's done.
But how you pour in the glass is what's important in their mouths. Don't forget how you pour in the glass. Very important.
The Larry colors.
You gotta let it air out.
We don't have time for that. No.
That's the fourth episode of Bartender, I'm sure. Alrighty, Frank. Now it's up to you, Frank. Who will make it in the final cut of spring 2024? There can only be one.
Please don't pull Ivan right now. Same serious experience.
No. Of course not.
He already forgot about it. He's got amnesia already from that show.
Off screen. Frank's like, get out.
I'm just so disappointed in myself that
the trailer got you, Frank.
I had to go through that. Yeah, I just watched the opening. Just gotta remember, watch the opening.
Gotta watch the opening first thing.
Yeah, because the opening would have told me everything.
Big boobies or no big boobies?
Yeah. Okay, so this was really tough. I thinking about what you guys would enjoy. I have no idea.
Because come from the heart, Frank. Come from the heart.
One is about, I feel like it might be about feelings, and then it has that golf aspect where it might have that, we might get a cool, because so far we don't see a rival, but we might get a cool rival or a good dilemma in golf.
Right. It's got to be someone.
I mean, because right now she's like super good, like she's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, in that aspect, it would be an Ivan because she's not learning. She's already good. I mean, she doesn't know the rules, but she does.
Yeah, I like them when they already have.
Gotcha.
I don't like them when they're like.
Right. So this is a golf ball. You want to get it in the hole.
Yeah, she has a weird style, but she's good.
Who doesn't like Happy Gilmore?
This is a hockey stick.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just, and then the Fable one, it's. I like that it's kind of like when you do one thing, but you're trying to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like you said, Spy Family.
Mm-hmm.
What else does that? I'm trying to think now.
Kind of reminds me like way the house husband. That's my number.
It kind of reminds me of like Undercover Boss. Where
I can see that.
Yeah. So
I guess the more you describe, I did think more of the Barry show a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A hitman.
Trying to hide himself.
Trying to be an actor, and then like
right.
he's like so good that he's like okay.
Right.
So yeah.
Does he meet the Fonz though?
The what?
The Fonz from Barry.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
There you go. You never know. Episode 6.
I'm gonna have to go with, and probably the ending song does it for me. What tipped it over the scales? I think it's just I feel like it's gonna be different than things I usually watch. I have no idea where both of them are gonna end up, so I'm gonna watch both of them, but I'll pick the Fable.
Fable it is.
And yeah.
The big Yakuza hitman.
Fable, the Jelly, and
Kaiju.
And the Kaijus.
I don't
Jellyfish, Kaijus.
Ooh, I just thought
Hitmans. What could go wrong?
Yeah, no, down the Yellow Book Road.
I don't know if it's a home run, but I hope at least you guys will enjoy watching it.
Indeed, it sounds interesting.
Did you really thought I chose a condition called love.
I mean, I seen you like the comedy romances a lot, Ivan. You like the comedy romances a lot, Ivan.
You thought he did a Frank. We're like, oh, it's terrible, but I'll watch it.
Having said that, I look forward to season 2. But yeah, so those will be our 3 chosen shows for the end of the season. So stay tuned. When we get a full review, we'll all talk about it here on said podcast. And we'll see, maybe something, we'll do something. It sounds like Spice and Wolf. It sounds like everyone's kind of interested, maybe, in potentially.
I will watch it. I
you
don't
guys want to know some economics, huh?
Well, we know Miles will watch it no matter what.
I like Item Girl.
There you go. Well, there you go. So we'll see. Maybe we'll come back to that. So stay tuned. Maybe you'll get a second life here on Taco Otaku
I like
podcast.
That. Saving up 80 billion anime too.
Oh, it does have some of that.
It was fine until it broke the fence, but
well, when they brought in the tanks, it was just when I checked out that show.
That was cool.
I mean,
we shot that goblin in the face with my M4.
Ever wonder how tanks would do against dragons? Now you know.
Now you know. Turns out the dragon has no chance.
It's called Gate.
Yeah, I guess so. There was parts of that anime that had potential. I'll say that. The animation was not one of those things.
When that gets a remake, because everyone will get eventually.
There you go. I mean, if Spice and Wolf get a remake 15 years after the fact, then anything's bloody possible here. Alrighty, so with that, we will call it a day here on the podcast. It's been a big episode. We got a lot of things covering on here. We got more things coming your way. Stay tuned next time on the podcast. We have an episode in between, but 2 episodes from now, we'll have our Final Fantasy VII Rebirth big spoiler cast, so if you've been a fan of that, don't miss out on the final episode.
So actually we get farther than the gold saucer, apparently.
Yes, well, I gotta catch up. I'm hot and very cold on that game, but I need to catch up, but I will in time. So look forward to that. Early June, we'll have that along with our full anime reviews towards the end of the season, so stay tuned for that. And much more here on Taco Otaku. Anyone else, anything to shill, push, anything agenda-wise? Anyone?
No, not that. I could say it the next week, because I do have my own reviews for the season.
Oh, there you go. What a nerd.
What the next time.
So you have to stay tuned, see what we've been up to. Of course, have been your host, Sourdough Shonen, aka just me, Ray. You can check me out on YouTube, on Twitch. Just me, Ray. Just type in Ray on the YouTube. You'll find me. You can't miss me. That or you'll get the blind guy with the piano. One or the other. It'll be me or him. We're the most popular Rays out there on the internet. Alrighty, thanks so much for joining in. Hopefully you guys had fun, and you'll tune in next time here on the podcast. Until then, adios, people.